Hey guys, Robert Strongtham here. Today I'm going to be re-looking at Raynor. Last time I went over him, it was mostly just me having fun. And I've got a friend who would very much like to learn how to play this game. So I figured, hey, why not start with Raynor, who's free this week. Raynor is very good at teaching people how to play the game because instead of focusing on how to play the character, they can focus on things like positioning, what they should be doing on the map, and etc. And I'll probably be going over the more basic stuff today than the more advanced stuff. Especially because they're playing Raynor, one of the most basic characters in the game. Also, little disclaimer, just because he's the most basic character in the game does not mean in any way that he's the best or the worst character in the game. He's very much in the middle, like every other character in the game, pretty much. I think that's all I have to say at the starting screen. So let's get into a match, shall we? Yeah. Alright guys, looks like we found ourselves a game, a very good game, because both teams have a bruiser, or, both teams have an equally strong front line, looks like. They have Zeratul, which is to be noted. We both have Azul. Oh, actually, never mind. We have a Murden. This is not very fair. I'll just tell you that right away. Unless if the Murden is a suicidal player. But let's hope not, yeah. So, one thing I can analyze that's scary is that they have the Zagara, which is... no, we have the Zagara. They have the Arthas, which is really good at clearing these shrines, and they also have the Zul, which is good at clearing these shrines. No, what am I talking about? I'm trying to go over the easy stuff. So, excuse me. So, a Nubarak is a bruiser, and Muradin's a tank. They should share the front line, meaning they will be the characters that are trying to take as much damage and try to make the front line plays. They're touching the enemy team as best they can. Zul doesn't have... he's a melee character, but can't take tons of damage. So, we are one of those backline characters as well as Raynor. We will be... alright. Oh, I forgot to turn on the music. You guys have to bear with me for a second. Options, sound, music. Oh, the sound of music. Oh! Alright. At level 1 for Raynor, you want to pick up Seasoned Marksman. What this does is for every few mercenaries or humans you kill, or not humans, heroes you kill, you'll get extra permanent auto attack damage. Auto attacking is your right clicking ability. How to play Raynor. Q ability. Everything that you hit in this line, which is basically an instant cast by the way, is pushed away and takes some damage. W ability. Everything that touches this radius for a certain amount of time gets an attack speed buff. And right now, we are using that to empower our basic attacks. E ability, we don't actually activate it. It just automatically triggers when we fall to a certain health threshold. We get certain health back. Now, it's important to note that a lot of players do this tactic wrong. The Q ability does deal damage, but that doesn't mean you just want to throw it out whenever. Now, we're retreating right now because I am at low health, and they have a Zeratul. Zeratul is particularly good at killing. You see I use the push to get them off Murden, my friend there. You do not want to use the push to get enemy teammates away from your team when your team's trying to chase that person directly. Right now, I'm just auto-attacking the lane. You can actually see invisible characters like Zeratul there's a little ripple effect you might notice. I'll try to point it out somewhere in my video. But characters like that have a ripple. You can indeed actually see them. They're just difficult to do. As a new player, you might be focused on looking at what your cooldown numbers are and what you're attacking in lane and what abilities you're using, but you really want to focus on the minimap. And you also want to make sure... I might have that heal off cooldown, but that doesn't mean I want to use it, you know? I could have pushed him to make sure he took some more damage from the towers there. You should actually not be doing what I'm doing. You should hold down the WK basically at all times. Oh, they might actually get a kill on me because Arthas is a very good gank supporter. I'm at low health threshold and we don't have a healer, so I'm just going to call him. The reason why you hold the W ability down on Raynor is because he has no mana. He has a mana bar, but you never run out on it. I've never encountered a time where Raynor's run out of mana, so feel free to use it. There's no reason not to. Q ability, however, you might want to save sometimes, but generally you just throw it out whenever. You could save it tactically, but, you know. So now a shrine is spawned. On maps, you want to go to the objectives very often. You know, they are the most important part of the game. And again, we're staying on our side of the map, away from danger as much as possible. We could have engaged there, but we don't exactly have the help of our team. We actually want to focus these players a lot because we have advantage in doing so. Notice I'm not using the Q to push him away as he's running away, because that would just help him. And at this level, we're going to take Vampire Assault because we don't have a healer on our team. And as you'll notice, oh, I should be doing that. Want to get them away from my team. Zeratul is doing what he should be doing. Okay, they got this Punisher. On this map in particular, you want to stay behind this wall of yours. No. You want to stay behind this wall so that way the Punisher jumps over the wall and attacks you guys. Wow. That way, the Punisher takes damage from all 4 of the towers. See how he went for me there? I might die for it. But this Punisher, it's being attacked by all 4 of these, and the enemy team doesn't have that guy in there. You want to avoid these little red circles. Red circles usually mean you're about to be hit by something. And now we've got to start laning again. I'm rooted for a little bit, that's alright. We see that top lane is missing. This is important. Before level 10, you want to have 1 person in every lane at least. And usually you don't want to have a support character or a healer character on their own, because they often don't fare too well. Keep in mind that, for example, if it was just me out here, I'd have to be really careful, especially because they have a Zeratul player, and a Zul player, and an Arthas player. Characters that are very good at setting up ganks or kills when you're not expecting it. Notice how I'm staying as far away as possible from these minions and from Arthas. In lane, you actually want to sometimes target these guys. See how he has to stay back? That's because with our damage potential, this Cigar and I can push him back. I'm forgetting constantly to hold the W button, by the way. And now we know to push them away. Zeratul has a thing. And I think that's going to be it. See, guys, we didn't pay attention to the minimap. We could have found out, oh, shoot, Zeratul's not anywhere on the minimap. He could be right here, and Arthas would help him. We didn't do that. I didn't talk about Raynor straight, but it's not very noticeable. It's just you have additional sights, like, you know, a ring of sight around you, and your character's auto attacks have a longer range. Not something that's like, you know, you have to pay attention to. You might notice I'm doing this often. I'm pressing the A key. By default, it's the A key, and then left clicking. And what that does is I attack and then move if there's nothing to attack in the direction that I clicked it in. This does not prioritize heroes or anything, but what it does do... Okay, we're not soaking the bottom lane, which is good. I should have noticed that, but still looks like he's going back to do that. Should be... Alright, so Shrine is activating, but it's activating right here, so I want to push him back. At this level, we get Revolution Overdrive, because now I have some speed increase when I use my W, which will help Raynor get away because he's very vulnerable. This is a dead Zeratul. Nope, he actually got away just in time. It's important also to note what kind of abilities other players have. It'll take you a while probably because of the increasing amount of heroes in the game. Again, we're staying very close and away from the danger, but let's help our team out. I am very much in danger of the Zeratul, wherever he is. Should be holding down the W key. I have my heal, but I didn't want to use it there. Whenever we're low on health like this without a healer, it's important to heal because that Zeratul could just come out of nowhere. This Cigar is incredibly in danger, and I don't know if she knows it. Again, we're staying very far from danger where our team is so they can capitalize, and that way the enemy team can't move in. We should start attacking them, though, because we have superior range and all that. Okay, that was a misplay. I shouldn't have done that, because if I did hit them, I'd push them farther away from my team. And there is the Zeratul. I see the ripples. I'll make sure to edit this. Yes, if you look really closely in the bottom right, you can see ripple effects across the landscape. That's where the Zeratul is. So be careful. You can actually hit Zeratul with abilities and such that just hit whatever while he's invisible, but it's, you know, it's a risky thing. That also lets you know, him know that you can see him. Trying to push that Sylvanas into our Nubarak. Not doing too well. Okay, now we notice they are a level ahead, and we have 2 players that are just dead. And on the minimap, we can't see any of their players not here. So this is very dangerous. And that Zul of ours was doing a very dangerous thing. And it is now that I'd like to mention another incredible misplay in the game. Whatever you do, do not curse at the other players. I can guarantee you it won't go well. This player, this Zagara, might be in their own, you know, area of gaming. They might actually be really happy at the moment, but it's very little to detect his emotion in this text, and it sounds like he's really angry at us. Do not let your anger go out against other players. It is the worst thing you can do in the game. I guarantee it. So just do not insult your teammates. Now we're 2 players down, 3 players down because Zagara's over here. Okay, and now we want to do this thing again, where we stand behind this. This Anubarak's not helping that situation. Oh, yep. And now we're not going to get to kill this thing fast enough. What a shame. But hey, now you know. And we want to throw this out for damage, because it has a relatively low cooldown. We're low on health, but we do have our heal cooldown, and we have Vampiric Assault, so as long as we just keep auto-attacking, we'll get this done. We want to stay as close as possible to our side of the map and behind Muradin and Anubarak, the two heavy characters on the team. And now we want to help kill this Zool. Yes, there we go. In team fights, you want to focus the characters that have a high damage output and a low health bar, as well as the characters that have a low health bar and heal their team. For example, Arthas on the enemy team is the tankiest character they've got. It's not extremely tanky, but he doesn't deal incredible damage or anything. They are level 10, so we have to watch out. Now we're both level 10, so now we stop laning. I repeat, we stop laning and go wherever the team goes. Primarily the two leaders, the heavy dudes. Yes, and take over things like mercenary camps, objectives, and yada yada. At this level, we are going to take Raynor's Raiders, because in this match, there's no healers for each team. So, the damage that these guys deal will permanently stay on the players, basically. I mean, each character has some kind of healing thing, pretty much. And yes, we can gank these people really well. Unfortunately, they have a Zool. Okay, yeah, this is really terrible. But okay, and then I just got bursted down because we weren't focusing on their targets. You want to focus usually the target that your entire team is attacking. That way you can kill one person at a time. A super low health player can always deal as much damage as that same player on the high health threshold. I think he knows he's in danger, doesn't he? Okay, hope he does. Again, you want to stay with the team. At level 10, you want to group up as much as possible to give your team the most advantage as you can. Alright, and we're equal levels. No, they have the level 12. It's important to note that we don't get like an 11 3/4 bonus or anything. We should really help this character here. Yeah, killed him, and now we're one player up, and we're equally leveled. Okay, I'm really overextended here because I'm not letting the leaders of my team, the two healthy people that have a huge health bar, lead. So, what I should be doing, is staying as close as possible to our side, out of danger. Granted, we are one player up, so I'm totally not opposed to attacking. Alright, we're gonna help him. Doing some great ooh, he got away. What? There we go. I used that to finish him that time because I knew he had a low enough health threshold to die from that ability. Usually you wouldn't do this though, because the Q ability doesn't deal that much damage to kill people often. And we are still just one player up, it seems. Well, a lot of the okay, well, this ball is gonna die. I think she misplayed there. That's what I might do sometimes in this video. I'm a squishy character, so I do not want to lead the charge anywhere because I just don't have the ability. I'm not having to use my ultimate yet because there's just not an application where it really needs to be done. And we are so far ahead of the enemy team that we can just go in here. We can even like go on this side to make them afraid. I'm totally not afraid. I've got my entire team here. At this level, we go double-barreled. So our Q ability has 2 charges that can be used in quick succession. Awesome. Again, we haven't used our R ability because those kills, we were going to get them because we outnumbered the enemies. Quite simply. Although it's important to note even though they might have dead players, your players sometimes might be not with you. And at this, okay, I was going to start doing something like that. And I missed that on purpose. And let's just finish him off with the second shotgun shell. And holding down the W key, notice my mana bar is literally at the full mark. That way, I don't have to screw with it. It's another important thing to note that I'm staying really clumped up with the team here because the enemy doesn't have any AoE abilities except for that, but that doesn't deal damage, that just halts our progress. I want to push him away from his wall like that so he couldn't get back into the defenses and he guaranteed died. This is an incredible push. I think we should just keep going because we are so far ahead of the enemy team. It's ridiculous. There's a bit of a... Okay, now we want to leave, so I'm using this ability to get my team away. And now we're just... Okay, and we're going to take over their bruisers because, again, we have 3-level lead. We are a talent tier up that I have not chosen yet, and I'll choose in a minute. And we are 1 player up for sure. We are in a really good position. This level we get... Bullseye. What this allows you to do is even better use the Q ability to get people off you. And now we're going to engage here again because the enemy might be a little bit foolish. Because, again, we are incredibly outdoing them at the moment, except for the fact that our Zool is in the top lane. Yes, I noticed. And I want to use these guys to deal some great damage to this, so we can do that. I am on super low health, and I don't have a healer, so this is incredibly dangerous because their Zeratul was last spotted here, but could easily be migrating elsewhere. I should have pinged to my team, however, that I was leaving, because I was low on health. You can do that by, I forgot what the default key is, but you want to ping to your team when you're doing things. It's also important to note that you have a maximum ping of like 3 pings. So only ping once. It's hard to resist sometimes, but only ping once for something, right? Like if you need assistance, only ping it once, because you do actually have a limit to what you can ping on the minimap. Again, we're just picking up mercenary camps, nothing to it, and we see a great opening here. We're still in an incredible lead. A talent tier and this up. I'm so aggressive. I'm gonna push this guy over here so he's in an incredibly terrible position. And I'm being incredibly aggressive because I thought I could kill him and I almost can't. Yep, we got him because now it has a stun. I'm being incredibly aggressive because there's no way the enemy team's gonna kill me. They should not engage on the 5 of us. What they need is their Zeratul to get a pick on one of us, make us have a misplay. We can totally take this over. I've almost got my Raiders again. What I could do with this is reposition them to enemy heroes and etc. And the reason why we're going for this and not the objective first is because, again, we just want to push our advantage. We get incredible XP from capturing that, and then we also get incredible lane pressure. It's important to note you might want to clear your opponent's, what's it called, mercenaries, because they can push and deal some damage without the enemy team being there. But you don't want to make that your priority, by the way, unless if you're a specific character. And again, because we are at a 3-level lead, I think it's appropriate that we get on their side of the map relatively, so that way we're like exerting some kind of pressure even though we are a weakling. And I think I can stun these guys one more time so that way they can't move. Because now that my Q has a stun, I can actually use it even in chase because they'll be stuck for a moment. But we primarily use the stun if we're running away from somebody to, you know, put even further distance between us. And we're getting this other Punisher too, which is amazing. Notice that we are all clumped up as a team. This is an amazing team, by the way. We are always clumped up in the right amounts, appropriate to... Oh, we want to avoid red marks, right? Usually that involves... We want to send this out for some good damage. And what we can do is, yep, they're going to single out Arthas, and now we can use that damage elsewhere. With Raynor and characters... Oh. I can reposition the R ability. With the R ability, I can reposition who the raiders attack until they go away. We can totally kill this Vala, by the way. I'm probably going to just shoot her over the wall, unless if she goes back to her base. We're at a 4-level lead. We're still a talent tier up. We're almost about to be 2 talent tiers. Okay, we're no longer a talent tier up once they hit 16. And, yeah, we can probably get a kill on one of these guys. She's dead. Didn't even have to use the Q ability. Honestly, we're wrecking. Okay, just gonna get him away from our team a little bit and just get him off. Shoe fly. And at this level we get Nexus Frenzy. This increases our damage of our auto attacks and our range of our auto attacks. Check this out. I can shoot this from super far away. And again, we're not being super close to the enemy team in an equal... Okay, this is just a domination game. This was a pretty bad match for showing off how to play Raynor. But I might have a new thing or two. But essentially, with Raynor and other characters that are squishy but have high damage output, you usually want to kick them as far away from the enemies as possible, so that in an equal team fight, meaning, you know, there's no talent tier difference, there's like very little level difference, very little player difference, or it all equals out in some form, because people should attack you as Raynor because you're so squishy, meaning you could die first, and because of your high damage output, meaning you could kill other people, so they should go for you. Use the range of Raynor to your advantage. You don't have to be incredibly close to people. In this match, I did in particular get really close to people because we had such an incredible lead. This was a terrible game. Notice I didn't really say GG at the end. It was a pretty bad game. As far as how we did, we probably had 2 incredibly unnecessary deaths considering how dominant we were in this game. We did considerable hero damage, right? 3rd in place, which is interesting. But the Zagara did have less deaths than I. Not much else to analyze there. The higher this number is, the better, by the way, especially for your sustained damage characters. And again, to go over the talents, Raynor, you usually pick all of these. The difference would be possibly picking the other option here, which is an AoE clear, basically. You send out this damage dealing and slow moving area, and so people are encouraged not to be in there. The enemy team is encouraged not to be in that area. But this is equally potent. It's just I analyzed my options. And at this level, you could also go for focused attack. If we did have a healer, a competent healer, and one that has really good healing skills, then I would have probably taken focused attack because we could use more damage on their team to faster kill this enemy team. But I needed the Vampiric Assault for some sustain because I would not be healing otherwise, except for my E ability. But that's a last minute resort. So, that'll be all for today, guys. So, remember to subscribe for more of this. Like this video if you liked it. Leave some comments down below for conversation, because that's cool. And remember to share this with your friends. Alright, that'll be all. See you guys.